Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope all of you are doing well. So I wanted to go over Hella Handmade Creations Marketplace for the month of October 2025. Before we get started, I want to obviously give credit where credit is due. Um, Polished Yogi here on YouTube, her name is Stephanie. She also creates this kind of content. Um, and watching her videos is kind of what inspired me to do this myself, to provide kind of commentary on the offerings for the month. Just because I really like her content. I think it's fun, but also sometimes my preferences, my opinions differ from hers. I also think of different dupes than she does. And so I guess that's like what my content would be offering in addition to hers. So I'm sure all of you know who she is. I love her content. I love watching her videos. And as I said, it's really important for me to always give credit where credit is due. Um, and so for today, I just had to make sure my wish list was empty because sometimes it shows up with like that I have 22 products in there, but there's nothing in there. But for this video today, I was only going to go over the monthly releases and the winter holiday release. I think if I went over everything, it would just be a super long video. I think this is already going to be a long video, but it would be even longer. So just to kind of avoid that, I'm only going to go over these two categories, and I believe that there's an overlap between the two, so I'll try my best to not duplicate, a commentary. But with that, let's get into it. So I'm going to click on this first tab and we're just going to go polish by polish. I might review some of the other hand care stuff, but right now I'm really not in the market to be buying any of that stuff because I have plenty that I need to use up. But like, let's get started. 1422, again, not very familiar with this brand. I tend to love the combination of red and gold. So I think this is really pretty, but I don't even think I'm gonna be purchasing from HHC this month. Just because I'm a little burnt out from purchasing, to be honest. And also I just know that this is probably not something that I would reach for. Like I think it's pretty. I think it'd look nice or like it's fun to see in terms of a swatch. I just don't think I would necessarily gravitate towards it, or towards wearing it. And then I think this is just a base coat, so I won't click into that. I don't know anything about this base coat. I've never used it. Alchemy lacquer. So this I believe is a thermal. Yep. So I am also not in a space right now where I will be purchasing any thermals or solars or magnetics. My general rule is that it has to be pretty in both in either state. Because whenever it dies, I would want it to be something that I would still wear in its dead state. I think this is really pretty. It feels very similar to, I think, an offering that they had for PPU this month as well. It might have been another maker, I mean. But I just remember seeing something very similar to this. The only difference was that, like, the flakies, the other one had just shimmer, I think, in it. I think the contrast between the flakies and the background, especially in what is this, the cold state? Yeah, the cold state is really pretty. I'm not a huge fan of black flakies. I mean, I say that all the time. So, yeah, that's the only thing that would kind of deter me. I think it's a pretty polish otherwise, and it does fit that bill of being pretty in both states. All mixed up lacquer. Again, I've never purchased from this brand. I think this is pretty. I just don't necessarily think that it's super special. I feel like, I could easily get just like a deep purple and put some like blue shimmer or blue shimmer topper over it to get this effect. So like it is pretty, but it's just something I feel like I can easily dupe in my collection. Same with this one. I feel like I have other polishes that kind of read this way. One that comes to mind, or one that this is reminding me of, is Aura Bloom Berry Shifty, which is kind of, I think, a similar color. What is this? Yeah. So like a berry jelly with like green blue shifting shimmers in it. I'm pretty sure Aura Bloom has one. If I can find the swatch that I'm thinking of, I will insert a picture here so you can see it. Um, and then let's go to the next one. I'm not gonna go into any of these. I've never used any of these, so I don't really have much commentary. This I think is really cute. I did look at this one earlier. I saw a post on it. And I think it's really nice that it comes with like multiple shapes, like 4 to 5 shapes in it. I remember talking about this in another video where I don't think you got a ton of shapes, but I think I love like, kind of like the idea of these shapes sitting in a bowl in your bathroom, around the holiday season. I'm not really a decorator, and I also live in a pretty small apartment, so like I don't know, it's just one of those things that isn't a priority to me, but I do think that in general that's really pretty. Body sprays, more lotion, things that I don't really need. I do eventually want to get into using wax melts over candles, but I currently have a lot of candles that I need to burn through before I think about purchasing more. I think this is a cute plate. I just don't really like purchasing like explicitly seasonal things because I don't like the idea of just only using something during one season. I much prefer kind of things that can be universal or used in multiple seasons. But I think it's cute. It's just not something that I would personally purchase. Arcana lacquer. I think this is overall really pretty. One thing that kind of deters me always is these like, what is it? This like texture, because it kind of reminds me of like holographic micro flakies or holographic flakies. I'm not always a fan of that texture for some reason. And it could just be in the picture because sometimes I think that, and then when I get like a polish in PR or something that I normally probably wouldn't like just based off of a picture, I end up really loving in person just because in person you see kind of like all the shifts of a polish and all these things. But this is a still photo, so kind of like you just see the texture. Like this, I don't necessarily appreciate the texture that this is providing or like visually showing. So yeah, this is something that would kind of deter me. Um, Art as nails. I've been really this brand's been on my radar. I know that I think they operate out of like the UK, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't purchased just because of the whole like tariffs and having to go through customs and all that kind of stuff. I think this is a really pretty polish, really nice for the season. But I just feel like I might have something like this already in my collection. This polish, like, what is it? It's a with strong blue shimmer. It just feels like there's like this purple kind of base to it, which I think is really interesting. But again, yeah, I just feel like I probably already have something like that in my collection. And then, oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna go into this. I go over this every single time. All right, and I think this is a duo. Overall, this green is really beautiful. Just the base color. Is really pretty, but it kind of reminds me of like, Holo Tacos, um, Perry Don't Bother Me, and what's the green? They have like a green hollow, that kind of is close to this. It doesn't have the blue multichrome in it. Like Serpents of Eden kind of would read like this. I'm not so much interested in the magnetic. I have so many magnetics, and I need to either get rid of them or use them. But for that reason, will not be purchasing. I do not need any cuticle oil. I've never used Baron X's cuticle oil, so I can't really comment on it. And then this is just this post broken down, so I won't go into that. Um, Although this is a really pretty swatch right here. BCB. So this is really pretty, but it reminds me of a Mooncat polish, like Mooncat Forbidden Fruit or like Freshly Bitten. I don't remember what it is. I think it was in the Persephone collection. But I'm just really reminded of another polish from Mooncat. And I'll try to find it and insert a swatch photo so that you can see it. I think this is really pretty, but again, just because it's reminding me of something from Mooncat, that kind of makes me feel like I have already like a duplicate of it. But in general, I am a huge fan of like these kind of brown bases with like, a shimmer in it. I really enjoy that. All right. And I have so many cuticle oils. I think this one, the scent notes just feel so intriguing, but yeah, I already have so many cuticle oils. This duo I thought was really pretty. I really like this kind of brick red state. But all other states I'm not so much intrigued with. Yeah, like thermals, I just feel like I don't find them appealing. These shots are really pretty, like these transition shots that are in the middle. This person did a really great job. Um, but yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of burnt off of the idea of thermals and solars because I have so many at this point that I just need to get rid of. Like, it's once I'm done with my dissertation, my next project will be to sit down and just do like a heavy D stash of like my magnetics, my solars, my thermals, all of that. Bee's knees. I have so many bee's knees polishes that I've like not used. They're literally sitting like I don't think I've ever used a single bee's knees polish that I have, and I really need to because I really love this brand. I love how they operate. I love the things that they come up with. I think this is really pretty as well. It feels very like Halloween Eve to me. Um, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just have so many polishes that I need to sit down and use those before I'm purchasing more to like add. A ring holder, that's pretty cool. I don't have a whole lot of rings and stuff that I wear. I literally only wear one ring. So that's not really, I don't know, useful to me. Danny Viana, another brand that's been on my radar. I've only purchased one thing, one collection from them, which was the Opalescence collection, just because I love anything that's like opal, it like opal-esque, or I love opals. Um, but this is a magnetic. Actually, it's a duo. Interesting. So it's a light purple magnetic with a graphite reflective glitters, and then which is curious is a black base with holographic pigment and more subtle silver magnetic holographic effect. So I feel like for this bottom part, I feel like Holo Taco easily has something that is like the same this basically I think Holo Tacos has more holographic pigments in it. So that'd be the only difference. And then in terms of the magnetic, I think it's like pretty. I love the idea of it and it feels kind of like, like a starry sky. But again, I'm just not in the market for magnetics right now. I think this is really pretty. So normally I'm not a red and green person, but something shifted recently where I have been kind of like liking it. I guess it has to do with like the combo because I really like the jelly base and this like vibrant red flaky that's kind of like peeking through at it. Like I think that's really pretty. But um I don't know. Yeah. And it's like the bag comes with it. I think like if the polish was sold by itself, I would maybe be interested in purchasing. But because like the pouch is cute too, but I just have so many pouches that I do not need another one to add to my like collection. Um, so yeah, not, I think that's pretty. I just will not be purchasing. And then I think this is broken down. Um, Cleonata Cosmetics. I think this is so pretty, but I feel like we've seen this many, many times. I feel like Cracked, it might actually be in the Overstock shop here, but Cracked had a polish during Pride, I believe that was kind of like it felt very similar to this. I think this is pretty. Cleonata's easily one of my favorite brands. But I feel like we've seen this many, many times. And then Colore State Carol. I think this is pretty. It feels like it's like a holographic polish, but it isn't. It just has these flakies in it and the silver hollow flakes. Silver hollow flakes are kind of like a deterrent for me. I'm not a huge fan of them for some reason. I think it's just like they give this texture that I'm not too fond of. So yeah, pretty polished, but I just know I would never wear it. I love when they do this. I don't like wearing like things that are so explicitly seasonal just because I don't like the idea of only wearing something during one season and like not touching it for the rest of the year, even though I feel like I do that with my polish anyway because I have so many. But I love the idea of, a Crelly or having the option between a Crelly and a clear, with like the exact same kind of mix in it. I'm more partial to the Crelly myself, just because I really love Crellys with like these glitters in it, because I love how it gives kind of this layered, like, how you can kind of barely see this green and then, another green flake or pops out. Like I love kind of that layered look. I think it's really pretty. Yeah, so if I wanted to purchase, I wish that this was split up because I would definitely lean more into the Crelly version of that. Cracked. This is pretty, but again, it's those like flakes that kind of the texture of that I just am not a huge fan of. How do they describe this? But yeah, that's pretty. It's just also not something I'm super interested in. Um, Cursed Cranberry. I think this is pretty, but again, whenever I see this color, the first thing I think about is Fuchsia Fantasy from Aura Bloom. That is one of my favorite polishes that I've like worn this year. I always think about it. It's like, I literally always think about it. And so this definitely really reminds me of that. polish. Um, I don't necessarily know if it's the exact same. I'll insert a swatch photo, but just off the bat, that's what I'm being reminded of. But I think this is pretty. I feel like Cracked has come out with other things that are very similar to this as well. Like this is a really beautiful shot. Um, but again, I just feel like I have something similar to this already. If it's not Aura, that Aura Bloom polish I'm thinking about, I'm sure I have like, other ones as well. Cuticula. I mean, this is pretty too. I just, again, I'm like kind of back on not liking flakies. And again, those holographic flakes. I don't know, something about that. I'm just not a huge fan of the texture that they give it a polish. I think this is pretty in general, but again, I just know that I would never reach for it. This one I think is really pretty. This red, kind of flaky. I really, really like this. I think this would be something I'm gonna put this on my wish list. I really don't think I'm any purchasing, but I really like, I love wearing reds like this. I feel like it's rich. I love the dimension of like all the different flakes in it. There are no black flakies, so I really like that. But yeah, really beautiful. Dom is one of my favorite brands. But I feel like I definitely have something like this. Like I'm thinking of polished, like gilded wings or some or ancient realm, something like that, that is like kind of this vibe. This has a grayish brown base, whereas I think the one that I'm thinking about is more blue toned, but this just gold shimmer kind of overpowers it anyway, so you can barely tell. But I'll insert a photo of that as well. This is also really pretty. But I don't know. Again, I just don't necessarily know that it is like special or unique enough for me to want to purchase it. And then whipped body butter, that's cool. LB, I don't really know much about this brand. I'm not in the market for magnetics, even though I do think this is really pretty. But yeah, I don't know much about this brand and I'm just not interested in magnetics right now, so I'm not going to be purchasing that. This I think is really pretty. How can you hate anything that's holographic and gold? Again, yes, really beautiful, but again, I feel like I would have something similar from Holo Taco or like I just feel like this is easily dupable. A lot of brands have holographic or golden holographic polishes. So again, that's the only reason why I wouldn't purchase. I think for me, like with Helly Handmade Creations or like Polish Pickup, I would always just want to buy something that is like unique that I just wouldn't be able to get all the time anywhere. So yeah, Garden Path. Oh my gosh, Garden Path has been doing a really great job recently. Like in Polish Pickup last month, their offering was really pretty. I picked that one up. This is really pretty too. Like this would go on my wish list for sure. I've been really into like the multi-chrome base with holographic and shimmer in it. That's been something I feel like I've seen more and more recently, and I really, really enjoy it. I think that's really pretty. Same with this one. I think this is pretty as well. Um, I really love the green, like holographic glitters in it. I love how it fits. It's funny because I don't like, I always say I don't like red and green together, but I feel like this isn't as in your face. Like this could be worn anytime. So I'm gonna put that on my wish list as well. Even though I don't even know if I'll be purchasing, but for the sake of this video, it's gonna go on my wish list. And oh yeah, there are three things there. Okay. And then Squishy Wasp. So I've seen Natalie from Natalie's Neat Nails purchase this and she really enjoys it. Again, something I'm interested in, but will not be purchasing until I use up some of my candles and stuff. I'm not interested in any of these products. This is really pretty. I saw a swatch of this and I am a sucker for these kind of pale pinks with these like I like the shard. It just again reminds me of like an opal, and I'm a sucker for anything that kind of like reminds me of that. Really pretty, pretty polish. I'm gonna put this on my wish list as well. I think that's really pretty. And then this one also, oh, this is an encore polish. Okay. I think this is so pretty. I love like the aqua, like oh, it's turquoise, yeah, flakies in it. I feel like turquoise flakies are a weakness of mine, or when I see that, I just feel like it's always such a contrasting color, no matter what it's in. Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful swatch. Yeah, that it's just like I just want it. Like I have to have it. I think this is really beautiful. Um, all right, more hearts and promises. Again, this is a little too Christmas coded, which is kind of what deters me. I love Christmas, I love the holidays, but I don't like buying things that are just like, seasonal or feel so seasonal that I wouldn't be able to wear it elsewhere. Hula Moon also has been really killing it recently. I love this just again because it kind of reminds me of opals, like the texture of opals. But I already have so many polishes that remind me of opals that I do not need another one, but I think this is so pretty. Beautiful. Another Hula Moon. Again, I'm a sucker for anything with this kind of like dainty pink feel to it. And this also feels kind of like that holographic multi-chrome with shimmer in it, but lighter. I wonder how they describe this. They don't, oh, linear hollow. It doesn't really describe like the base or anything like that, but I think this is really pretty. Like this is easily going on my wish list. I love this. Um, Indie Polish by Patty. This is a magnetic. It's a duo too. Okay, so silver magnetic with pink aurora shimmer. I kind of wish they showed them like separately because this all feels like it's layered. And then a topper with pale blue base and a blue aurora shimmer. Again, neither thing I'm like really interested in. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every time I see like Indie Polish by Patty, I feel like they always put out magnetics, and I'm just a little like burnt out on that. Is this the same thing? Blue water? No, this is different. So this is pretty, but again, it's a magnetic, so not interested. This is a magnetic as well, but the base really reminds me of Goat from Dom Polish, which is one of my favorites. And so I think that's really cool. But I believe, I don't know, I think you can definitely still purchase Goat from Dom Polish, and I would much prefer that over this. This is a really beautiful polish. Like this base, I would just purchase a polish for like if it was that base color. Really pretty. This one is just a repeat of that, and this is a repeat of that, so I'm not gonna go over it. Jen and Berries. The polish I only have like 3 or 4 polishes from Jen and Berries, and I really like all of them. But I haven't really explored any of her other offerings. Again, those holographic flakies, something about that texture, just it doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of that. Um, This I think is really pretty, but again, I just wish it didn't have those holographic flakes in it. Like if it was just that base color, I would hands down be interested in buying this, but the texture of the holographic flakies kind of throws me off. Lily Pad, again, another brand I don't know a whole lot about. I think this is pretty. I really love like olive tones. I love wearing olive colors. I think that like the flakies in this are so pretty, but I'm pretty sure I already have something that's very, very similar to this. Um, and yeah, I just want to know more about this brand, I guess. I need to do a little bit of research on this particular brand. Lismo. So I finally did purchase one of these scrunchies at one of the HHCs. And I shouldn't have because I have so many cuticle products and that's what I keep saying. But I really like just love the overall concept of this, love the idea of having like a zipper on a scrunchie, something that you already wear around your hand. Like I don't wear a whole lot of scrunchies in my hair, but like I do wear rubber bands around my wrist, and I feel like wearing a scrunchie would be the same thing. I also love the mini dropper. I think it's just so cute. The one that I got, I can't remember the exact smell of it, but I remember it smelling really delicious, like really, really good. And so just that's my mini review. Like I would recommend this product. I think it's fun. I think it's like really smart. And I think the one scent that I got was really, really good. So if that's like telling of all the other ones, I mean, there you go. Lurid's one of those brands where like they'll make anything and I will try my hardest to talk myself out of a polish or something and I just can't. Like they're like a ride or die brand. I think this is beautiful. I would be very, very surprised if I didn't already have a dupe of this in my collection. So I'm gonna like put it on my wish list, but I'm definitely gonna go look in my collection to see if I have anything similar. And then this, I definitely know I have things that are similar to this. Like I love this shade of red. I feel like I have so many, reds with this like red to orange shimmer in it. I think of Broken Pixel, like Tell the Devil I'm on My Way, or Fiery Precision, or even like what is it, Kathleen and Co. Follow Your Dreams. I know that one has like more of a shift to it than these photos are showing. But again, I don't know. I like definitely prefer those ones a lot, and so I just don't necessarily think I need that one. Lin B, another one of my favorite brands, but again, I just think I already have something very similar to this. Um, I think this is a really beautiful swatch. I really like these like kind of short nail swatches more. I think it's because I can relate to it because my nails are about that length. Um, oh, this is a really beautiful swatch as well. This person did a really great job. Um, but but yeah, I am sure I already have something similar to this. Like this also reminds me of Follow Your Dreams from Kathleen and Co. So yeah. We'll be passing on that. MJ lacquers. Oh, this is pretty. Again, this falls into that like, what is this? Purple to bronze multi-chrome with holographic flakes. Yeah, like I've been really into this combo recently. I think this is so pretty. So this is gonna go on my wish list. Again, I really don't think I'm gonna be purchasing, but for the sake of the video. Moonshine Manny, another one. I believe this is like a similar finish. Multi-chrome shimmer. Yep. Beautiful. I really, really love this. It's gonna go on my wish list as well. Moth and Moon, this is a magnetic. This is a really beautiful swatch right here, but this is a magnetic, and so for that reason, I'm gonna be passing. Um, but yeah, really beautiful swatch. But oh wait, is it a magnetic? It is a magnetic. Okay. Nailed it. Nailed it. Has a place in my heart. This is a thermal, so I will not be purchasing. It also has those black flakies, but I think that it really works in this particular thermal. Like, yeah, I feel like it works. But this is also reminding me of like I think it's called 2024 from Polish for Days. And I think it's just because of the colors of the flakies. I feel like that one, that polish has very similar flakies in it. So yeah, really pretty. Nailed it. I love that they do soaps. This is really pretty. So if I'm gonna buy a Christmas polish, I want it to be mint and pink. I think this is so pretty. Like I love that. That's gonna go on my wish list. I think this is really, really beautiful. Yeah, I am a mint and pink Christmas kind of girl. Um, Not so much red and green. Um, Unicorn Dreams. I saw this. I've never used their lotion, so I can't really comment on it. Naps and Nails, again, another brand that I don't really know much about, but I'm pretty sure this is magnetic. So I will not be purchasing. I think it's really cool this effect that they kind of got, like where it's like kind of like a wiggly, like curvy line. I think that's really cool. And you know what? Recently, it seems like a lot of people have come up with like alternative patterns to magnets, which I really appreciate, just because that's been one of my like gripes about magnetics. This is really pretty. It reminds me of Enchanted to Meet You from Polish for Days, just because of that glowy blue shimmer. I think it's really pretty. I've never purchased from this brand, as I've said. But I think this is really pretty, and it just reminds me of Enchanted to Meet You or Spyglass from Holo Taco. Really pretty. Night Owl Lacquers. This is such a pretty, like kind of pruggly-ish color, which I love. Like I love wearing colors like this. And like I wish that the flakes were a little bit larger. Like these are a little bit more fine, and I just wish that they were a little bit larger. I feel like that's really what would make this kind of polish for me. Nirvana Beauty. This is pretty as well, but I am 100% sure that I have a multi-chrome like this in my collection already. So yeah, I will not be purchasing, but I think that's beautiful. This is really beautiful. I love the shade of like kind of blue green, like turquoise, a deeper turquoise. And then there's like, it looks like there's, oh yeah, green shimmer and this linear hollow. Like that's beautiful. I'm gonna put that on my list. I think this is so pretty. Nothing basic. They've been the brand that's coming up with like these cool magnetics. I love this. I love anything kind of like with this brown base with like all the rainbow flakies in it. But again, just something that I probably will not reach for or wear. This plate is really pretty. Again, also seem like I like bigger shapes like this that are not as like detailed. Some of this is detailed, but like I just feel like they're easier to use. But again, I'm just not very in the market for holiday specific things. I think the shark is so cute. Like I just want it for the shark. I don't necessarily care about the specific shape. I wish I could see the magnet orientation. But yeah, the triangle shape, like, I mean, I guess it could be cool to have, but I don't know. Like, I've purchased a few like other magnets now, and so I need to sit down and see if I'm actually going to use them before I start purchasing all these other magnets and things like that. This salamander, is this a salamander? Or like, how do you say this? I don't know. I struggle with like words like that. Ox. Oxalot, Axolot. But yeah, I think this is really cute as well. I love the striped, like kind of effect that it gives, but I just purchased a magnet recently that kind of gives off that effect as well. This is really pretty. This goes into that whole like brown with shimmer in it. I'm a sucker for that. I love that. So yeah. Ooh, well, let's look at the other pictures too. I got so excited. I like this one though. I already know, like it's already something I would want. Um, this is also really pretty. I don't know, the flakies in it are kind of throwing me off. Like, oh, it's the glitters. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those glitters. It's like pretty, I guess, like when you look at it from far, but the macro shot I'm not a huge fan of. But anyway, Polish, one of my favorite brands, Polish. I always say polished, but it's just Polish. I think this is really beautiful. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, it's really pretty. I'm sure I have a dupe of this and I'm gonna look and I'll insert photos if I find one. But this is just pretty. Like I can't even say anything about it. And I always prefer their shimmers more so than their flakies. Like in general, I just prefer shimmers over flakies. So I'm not as big of a fan of this one, but the other one I think is really pretty. Paint it pretty. I think this is pretty as well. But I just also know this is not something I'd probably reach for. I wish there's more swatch photos that we could kind of compare off of. I'm not going to go into these because there's no photos anyway. Penelope Luz. This is another brand that I feel like always does magnetic, so it's kind of nice to see something that isn't a magnetic. I think this is really pretty. I love the shade of blue. I love the like flakies in it. I think that's really pretty. Oh, and it's a duo. So the base, I really like the base. The topper I don't really care so much for. Oh yeah, here's a picture of the base. No, that's still, see, like this is pretty. That's pretty. But just the base alone, I think is really pretty. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection right now. So yeah, I'm gonna select into the if there's like an into there isn't. Or is there? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So I would put this on my wish list. Um, and then this is another topper, or this is a duo. So a magnetic, I'm not interested in that. But and like the topper, like I have so many toppers that I need to use, so I just would not add this to my collection because I don't think I would use it. Pepper polish. This is a really unique magnetic. I don't think I have anything like this in my collection as it is. So great for them. Like that's awesome when you can come up with something like unique. But again, not in the market for any more magnetics right now. So we'll be passing. Those are the post broken down. Um, and this is a duo. I think this base is really pretty, but I'm sure I have a dupe of that. And the topper, I guess, is pretty, but I don't know. Like I keep saying, I don't think I need any more toppers. This is that broken down. Psych Minerals can never do any wrong. I wish they had swatch photos, but I already know that like the texture of this particular polish from this particular brand is like one of my favorite things ever. So yeah, both of these would automatically go on my wish list. Red Eye Lacquer, again, another brand that I don't know a whole lot about. I think this is pretty. Again, this is one of those where I wish the flakies were a little bit bigger because I feel like that's what would make it more visually appealing to me. Acetone additive, car fresheners. This duo I've seen. I think well, the magnetic part I don't care so much for, but this like green base with like these flakes in it, I think is so pretty. It has the same kind of effect of like that I was talking about earlier with Crellies and like the layering, and I think it's just really, really pretty. So yeah, I would put just that green on my wish list, not both of them. Um, Cuticle cream, blah blah blah. This, I think the green is also really pretty here, but I don't think it's going to be sold separately. I think the green is stunning, like just the polish. I would purchase this too, but I don't even have a car, so where would I put that? So yeah, like but the green, like this was gonna go on my wish list. Um, Rogue Lacquer, another brand that I really love that can do no wrong, but again, I just don't. I love when Rogue does black flakies. Like they're one of the brands when they'll make a polish with black flakies that, I tend to like. But I feel like this reminds me a lot of like the one of the flakies that came out from Holo Taco. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna be passing. I'm not gonna go into that. Sassy Cat, I don't think I've ever purchased from this brand. I think this is really pretty. I love the mauviness with like the aqua, like cyan shimmer in it. Um, but yeah, this is really pretty as well. Pine base. I love the green. I love this too. Like I do like both of these, but I feel like I have a dupe for this for sure. Like I'm thinking of Holo Taco or even like Emily de Molly. This I think is pretty, but I would be very surprised if I didn't have a dupe of this in my collection already. But I think both this duo is really stunning. Sassy Sauce. Are we reviewing Sassy Sauce? I can't remember. I'm gonna go ahead and review them, but I know that there's been some like controversy surrounding this brand. I don't think about this brand directly, but I think around one of their swatchers. This is really stunning. Uh, yeah, it's beautiful. I just don't necessarily know that I would wear it. Um, green and red duo. Yeah, I'm not super interested in that. Um, and then let's look here. Watcha. They left such an impression on me. This is a really beautiful polish. I wish I could see it unmagnetized. Um, because I think it's pretty. Like I think it would be pretty unmagnetized. But yeah, I'm not in the market for any magnetics right now, so gonna pass on that. This is another magnetic. Again, same thing. Not in the market for any of this. The hex glitters are kind of cool though. And this like it's cool because this these like it kind of reminds me of like a candy cane, which I like that. I think that's cool. Wicked. I don't know much about this brand either. This is pretty, but again, I feel like we've seen this many, many times. Um, so yeah, this is pretty. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I just wish I guess I wish there was more flakies in it. I think that's what I would change or edit. But I think it's pretty. I just that's what I would want. Witch Cult, I still have not purchased from this brand. I think this is pretty, but it reminds me of Crown of Bones from Bee's Knees, which I already have. So yeah, that would be kind of my deterrent. This is a thermal. I think this is so pretty. Like I love purple, I love hollow, but again, just the thermal aspect is what kind of deters me because I it just stresses me out. So gonna pass on that. And then this last one is Zombie Claw. Which again, I think this is pretty, but I feel like I could easily dupe this, very easily dupe this. Um, and then I'm gonna go into the winter holiday release. I'm pretty sure a lot of these we already went over because I think that first category kind of crosses over with all of these, and I'm not really seeing anything that we didn't see over there. But yeah, that's what I thought. So 17 things on my wish list. That is wild. Again, I do not think I'll be purchasing from Hella Handmade Creations this month. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little burnt out. Or actually, I do know there's gonna be one thing that I do purchase, and it's gonna be from this June overstock. If it's live, it's gonna be nailed it. Nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. No. This. So I purchased this polish because I just really love it and it just reminds me so much of trans pride. Um, and I mean, in general, like pride's important to me, but just the fact that this polish kind of like emulates trans pride in a polish, like you see the blue, the pink, the silver, or like white, I guess. I don't know, it's so special. And I actually wore this on a really special date um, for me in my life. And so I just have sentimental value associated with this particular polish. And so I really did want to buy a backup of that. So I think if I do purchase anything, it'll be that polish. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be purchasing from this at all. But these would have been what was on my wish list in general, just again for the sake of this video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this was interesting and entertaining for you. And hopefully I do like a good job with duping polishes because I think that's like the most important piece of doing content like this. But I hope all of you are taking care and doing, good things to kind of refill your glass and refill your soul. And I will see you in my next video. Take care.